I never thought I'd hear those words from the woman I married. My name is Aaron, and my wife, Natalie, and I had been together for 8 years. On paper, our marriage was normal. 2 kids, a house in the suburbs, and routines that looked picture perfect. But in the last few months, I had started noticing subtle changes: her late nights at work, secretive texts, and a coldness I couldn't explain. It was a Friday evening when it happened. I had just finished helping our daughter with homework and was making dinner when Natalie walked in. She looked unusually calm, almost rehearsed, like she had been preparing for this moment. She didn't greet me warmly, didn't ask about my day. She just stood there, arms crossed. "Aaron," she said, her tone casual but serious, "I won't be home tonight." I paused. "What do you mean you won't be home?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. Natalie shrugged. "I deserve to try different things. I need space. I'm going out and I won't be back until late." I froze. Try different things? Space? What does that even mean? She looked at me like I was being unreasonable. "I just need to explore, Aaron. I can't stay stagnant in this marriage. I need freedom. Don't overreact. It's nothing personal." Nothing personal. The words hit me like a punch. Nothing personal. She was telling me, my partner of 8 years, that she wanted to step outside our marriage to experiment, to see what else was out there. And it wasn't personal. My chest tightened, my hands shook, but I forced myself to remain calm. I had two choices: confront her, beg her, try to reason with someone who clearly had made up her mind, or step back, observe, and protect myself. I chose the latter. I decided to act with calm precision rather than emotional chaos. She left that night, all smiles and false cheerfulness. I stayed behind, alone in the house, trying to process what had just happened. I felt betrayed, humiliated, and heartbroken, but I refused to let her see my pain as leverage. This wasn't a moment for dramatic confrontations. It was a moment to take control of my own life. Over the next few days, I noticed the pattern. Natalie returned late, vague about where she had been, dismissive of questions. I checked the bills and found charges at restaurants I had never heard of, hotels I hadn't booked, and unexplained expenses that confirmed my suspicions. She was seeing someone else. She was acting on the different things she had claimed she needed to try. I didn't yell, didn't cry, and didn't demand explanations. I simply made my decisions. I opened a separate bank account, quietly moved money there for myself and the kids, and began planning a path forward that didn't rely on her honesty or loyalty. I realized that my first responsibility was to protect my family and my own sanity. When she returned one night, I confronted her, not angrily, not dramatically, but firmly. "Natalie," I said calmly, "I know what you've been doing. I know what you mean by trying different things. This is your choice, but it's not mine anymore. I will not be part of a marriage built on lies and infidelity." Her face went pale. She tried to speak, tried to argue, but I held up my hand. "No, don't. I don't need your excuses. I'm making my choice. You made yours. I'm done letting this continue." She left the room speechless. She probably expected tears, begging, or desperate pleas, but I had taken back my power. I wasn't begging for love that had been compromised. I wasn't negotiating trust that had already been shattered. I was choosing self-respect over betrayal. In the following weeks, I began the process of separating our lives. I found a small apartment nearby for myself and the kids, ensuring that they remained stable and cared for. I didn't want them to feel the chaos of adult betrayal more than necessary. I focused on their routine, their happiness, and creating a life that was safe and predictable, something I couldn't rely on with Natalie anymore. It hurt, yes. There were nights I cried silently, mourning the life I thought I had, the promises we had made, and the woman I thought I knew. But slowly, that pain transformed into clarity. I realized that her actions didn't define my worth. Her choices didn't dictate my future. The betrayal revealed her true priorities, and that knowledge, as painful as it was, gave me the freedom to move forward. Months later, Natalie reached out, apologetic, regretful, claiming she had made a mistake. I listened, but I didn't respond. There was nothing left to salvage. The marriage she claimed to want to save had already been destroyed by the very actions she thought were justified. Over time, I rebuilt my life. I focused on my career, spent quality time with my children, and reconnected with friends who had supported me during the hardest days. I realized that betrayal, while devastating, can also reveal strength you didn't know you had. It can teach clarity, patience, and the importance of boundaries. Now, years later, I look back on that night when she said she needed to try different things, not with anger, but with understanding. I understand her choices reflect her character, not mine. I understand that love without respect and loyalty is fragile and dangerous. And I understand that walking away, reclaiming my dignity, and protecting my family was the only choice that allowed me to survive and thrive. Her different things no longer have power over me. I learned to smile through the pain, to disappear from her control, and to rebuild a life rooted in honesty, trust, and integrity. Betrayal can be devastating, but it can also be transformative if you act with calm, clarity, and self-respect. And that night, when she left, I made sure it was the last time her choices dictated my life.